What's up? What's up, Ryan? What's up, everybody? How is everybody? Welcome to Death Chat. We will. Alexander will be joining us momentarily. There he is. There's my guy.
What's up? Yeah, I'm still posting this to Patreon, so you're still going to have to continue to host the show so well as you always do, Tony.
Oh yeah, I'm just crushing it right now. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. It is a brutal, hot weekend out here in Southern California. I'm glad I got a nice little cross breeze. What's up, Emilio? How's everybody? Hell yeah, Nikki. Welcome. Uh, Hope everyone's having a nice weekend. I am myself. I went to go to a screening last night of Earth Girls Are Easy. It was super fun. Julie Brown, the writer, did a little Q&A before it, and I got to watch one of the most fun movies I've ever seen. And if you ever get a chance to see it in theater, that's kind of the way to see it because seeing it with a crowd is a lot of fun. Real goofy movie starring Jim Carrey, Damon Wayans, Jeff Goldblum, and Gina Davis, and it fucking rocked. If you enjoy a good, musical scene and some very self-aware campy humor, definitely check it out.
Did you see Longlegs, Tony?
No, I have not seen Longlegs yet. Yeah, yeah, big stinker.
No, not big
Okay,
stinker. Not a big
it's
stinker.
just it's just it's just whatever, right? Like that's kind of what I
It's
heard about it. I kind of heard it's like it's fine. I'm
the
not gonna go out of my way to see it. Is what it is.
the best part about it is like the concept, the plot concept, because it veers into like X-Files territory. So it's not like a typical horror film. It veers into like magical realism type shit, which I love. And it does that at the beginning of the movie. It doesn't try to like hide the premise for the whole movie and then surprise, there was something fun going on the whole time that we couldn't
Yeah,
tell you about, and now we're finally revealing it to you. Um, yeah, I don't want to say too much because I think it's still worth watching, but it's so funny because I don't know, the actress, like maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know what else I've seen her in, if I've ever seen her in anything, but they did not write her character very well. She's an FBI agent who's having like low grade panic attacks the whole time. And like nobody, and they're like promoting her. They're promoting her through the movie. And you're like, wait, what? She doesn't seem competent at all. Like the only reason she's making progress on the case is because of the supernatural element that I'm talking about. And like maybe that would be funny is if it were portrayed as like, oh, she actually sucks ass at normal police work, but she does have this special power that helps her. That would be pretty funny if they leaned into it. But more, it just seems like they wanted a damaged, broken FBI agent a la Silence of the Lambs and didn't know how to actually make it seem like a real character. And so I was pretty disappointed in the way she was portrayed. Like the tone of the movie was great, the concept of the movie was great. Longlegs himself, very good until the end. It got too much for me. Nick Caged out a little too hard right at the very end. But I did like him as Longlegs. I did like him doing goofy, scary, goofy stuff. I thought that was effective.
oh, that's fun. I mean, I don't know. I was kind of I thought it was I don't know because of the name. I was hoping it was like a Slender Man type thing, you know. But I guess not so much. Uh, and like yeah,
It's
it's I don't know. People were being so vague about it. Like
you want you want
it's
more.
unsettling.
Yeah.
But the
So
people who's like, so I respect your opinion, and there's somebody
uh,
else's opinion I respect. And then there's somebody else who they're a little too easy on movies. They were the one who was like, it was so good, I really loved it. And then you and some other people were like, it's fine, it could have been better. So
yeah, it's like Satanism. So
I,
it's that it's in that it's like about the satanic. It's set in the 90s, so it's kind of like referencing the satanic panic of the 90s. But the characters just make those frustrating character decisions that they seemingly make in every horror movie that just propels the plot along. It doesn't make any sense why a person would necessarily do that except to further the particular story that they want to tell.
That's a bummer. Because, like, I don't know, like, it's a missed opportunity. Go ahead and get weird on it, you know.
Soft Muscle Girl says, "You for real? What am I? Am I for real? Is Tony for real?"
No, I think they're talking to Merthyr Music, who says, "Hey guys, not to be rude or anything, but could you play some Overwatch 2 on the stream? I'm trying to get one of those exclusive badges."
Yeah, actually, in 55 minutes, we were planning on playing Overwatch 2. So just stick around.
Yeah, stick around, stick tight.
Burke says, "I like this part of Cage's career, just weirdo horror movies." Yeah, I mean, some of them are good. Like, I mean, Mandy's obviously great. The what was that one night, Willy's Wonderland or whatever, where he got trapped inside of a haunted Chuck E. Cheese. Did you see that movie?
No, I don't know that one. No?
So
I don't know any of these movies.
You've never seen Mandy?
No, I never saw Mandy.
You got to watch Mandy, dude. What are you doing?
I don't know. Not watching Mandy, apparently.
It's like a psychedelic horror movie where Nick Cage gets high on LSD and brutally murders like the biker gang that killed his wife.
Dang, I need to check that out because I like me some of him.
It is pretty much like Drive Angry, but an art house version of Drive Angry. Because I think they are like a satanic hippie cult that he's chasing in Mandy, just like in Drive Angry.
Oh, cool. When did that come out?
Mandy, like 2018.
Oh, okay, yeah, I missed that.
It's been around for a while. Then he did Willy's Wonderland is him in like a Chuck E. Cheese, but the robots come to life and like murder everybody, and it's like the town sacrifices somebody every year or every weekend to the, you know, it's like a meme, kitschy, like meme type movie.
I think I've seen something about that.
And then the thing about it is, yeah, they're not he's not locked in there with them. They're locked in there with him. And he like takes out all the animatronics horror. But the thing about that movie is he doesn't say one word in that movie.
Oh, like the main character?
Yeah, Nicolas Cage doesn't have a single line of dialogue in that movie.
Crazy.
Which is definitely meant to be a really cool choice and not just so they could save $100,000.
I mean, is that how that works? Is it cost less to?
Yes.
Dang, that's awesome.
It's less work.
I did not know that.
Yeah. That's why you can hire, Steven Seagal to sit in a chair for your movie, you know.
Oh, one second. Something weird happened.
Do you want me to stop the show while you're doing that? Okay, maybe I should keep going, or
sorry, I couldn't hear you for a second. I'm good now though.
Okay.
Oh, maybe I'm not good.
All right, I'll just go ahead and continue with the show while you figure that out. Emilio says, yeah, it was like a Five Nights at Freddy's knockoff before the actual Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, that's pretty close. I do like the idea of Willy's Wonderland. It was pretty blah. One thing I have been watching.
This is awesome.
That's all right, Tony. One thing I have been watching is X-Men 97. I like barely heard about it. I watched the original X-Men as a kid. Not like rewatched it a bunch, but I enjoyed the X-Men as a kid. I read some of the comics, and okay, now I'm getting that noise from Tony. And I didn't hear anything about X-Men 97, which is the like modern reboot of the cartoon, until recently. I recently heard that it was pretty good. And so I was like, okay, fine, I'll give it a try. And I couldn't help but notice in the second episode, they do January 6th. Like literally the bad guy, the anti-mutant, human supremacy guys do January 6th on the UN. Everything better now, Tony? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. For some reason, my AirPods connected to something totally across the not even here.
Mm-hmm. It's good stuff.
Yeah,
it's great. Okay, so I don't know how much of that you heard. Basically, what's been happening in the series, because again, this is only the second episode, and I don't want to spoil too much for people who might watch it, but in like the very first episode, I think you learned that Charles Xavier, Professor X, has died, and in his will, he's left Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters to who? Magneto.
What?
So Magneto has to put aside his terroristic ways, his mutant nationalist ways, and like become a reputable member of mutant society. And in order to do that, he has to turn himself into the UN for his terrorist crimes and clear his name by being, I don't know, ruled innocent by the UN or something like that.
Good man.
And so we, like in this scene, we see like a chyron on screen that said "Mutants: The Trial of Magneto," and the name of this episode is "Mutant Liberation Begins." So let me play this first clip I have from here. We're starting off outside the UN, and you see the protesters. There's a bunch of humans who are just like mad that Magneto is getting a trial at all.
All pissed.
Which is pretty funny.
I like that, yeah.
They're holding signs that say "Down with mutants," "Back to where you came from," "Stop mutants." And then I think this sign at the bottom says like "Evolution is a lie." And then in the back, you have a sign that says FOH, which is Friends of Humanity, which is the like paramilitary pro-human militia that tries to like round up mutants. And it's funny they didn't call them like proud men.
They didn't just go for it. I mean, they did, but they just didn't completely go for it.
Okay, so this is outside the UN. Oh, you're not going to be able to hear it. Okay, yeah, let me put it in the browser real quick. Sorry, I forgot we have to do it this way. I have to watch this in the Chrome browser, which is so cool. We love the Chrome browser so much. Now it downloaded. Nope, that's not it. Let me see what I can open it in. Nope. I'm sorry, folks. We don't have sound on this, huh? How did I watch a movie in that last one?
Yeah, I think you like opened it in a browser or something like that. I don't know. I haven't not heard stuff, so I don't know if there's audio or not.
And I don't think I can just put Disney Plus up on screen. I don't think Disney would let me do that. Will they?
Probably not.
Shout out in the chat if you know if Disney Plus will let me do this. I'm trying it.
Give it a shot.
It's worth sharing. I'm sorry, everybody, that it's taking so long.
No, like they said, A says, yeah, if it's like less than 30 seconds, it's probably good.
Less than 30 seconds.
Probably not.
Huh. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I get like electrocuted or whatever.
Yeah. You're going to get shocked. I love that they like went to the old animation. That's like the coolest thing.
Justice is overdue.
Have you seen Scott?
Oh, he's there with the others, making sure Magneto doesn't pull one of his stunts.
Oh, he didn't tell me.
A lot of that going around lately.
The fuck's that supposed to mean?
People will look back on today.
So, okay, if you're just listening to this, it's crowds outside of the UN with barricades, protesting. You know, looks kind of familiar. Now we're cutting to a seedy panel van parked on the street, and inside is one of the militia members narrating.
And say it was the beginning of a new age. The day mankind made Magneto pay. Folks out there want the UN's head just as much as his. Stir the pot, boys, and keep them distracted. I'll only have one shot.
Stir the pot, keep them distracted. So not only is it like a January 6th narrative, it's also kind of like January 6th was a false flag narrative.
Yeah,
it's like but best of both worlds. I kind of
keep
love
him
it.
distracted. I love that.
And yeah, he's going to take a shot with some sort of super powered sniper rifle at Magneto, and he's actually got his own like armor. And if you know these characters, this guy will later introduce himself as the Executioner, which is the leader of the human resistance, or at least one of their top fighters. So that's like the first January 6th thing.
I'm assuming he has non-metal bullets.
I think it's like a energy beam that he shoots.
Oh, sick.
We sing this song to one another. You pressed, leave differently.
I just want to say I kind of like this series. It's pretty heavy-handed. Like but not in a bad way. I don't know. The original X-Men was heavy-handed too, right? Because the original X-Men was an allegory for civil rights. And the original X-Men, I think, was even more subtle, or at least there were fewer moments of social commentary in the original cartoon than there are in this one. Like in this one, they really weave the racism and that sort of analogy of racism and supremacy and like homosexuality and all these, something that you might have to hide from your parents, something that you're afraid of being seen as or whatever. They lay on that pretty thick, but I think it works. I don't know. And right here, Magneto is basically going to justify doing a bunch of terrorism against the U.S. because of what they did to mutants, and he's right.
Love differently. Be of different sex or skin and be punished.
We sing this song to one another. You pressed, become oppressors.
He also, so if you don't know Magneto, his origin story is he's a Holocaust survivor.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about, in the beginning of this speech, he talks about how his people were persecuted and killed by the Nazis. And then he escaped that only to have his own people persecute him and mutant kind with the help of Nazis.
Whoa.
And then right here, he says, the oppressed become the oppressor. We sing this song of hierarchy and oppression and nationalism and bias and racism and sexism. We sing this song to each other across generations, so much so that the oppressed can then become the oppressor. And this, to me, was a crazy thing to see, of like a Jewish Holocaust survivor talking about other Holocaust survivors, or talking about other victims, become then oppressors, and also become the specific type of oppressor, i.e. Nazis or Nazi collaborators that victimized them to begin with. And that's like a pretty, I don't know if they're referring to Israel, but it's a pretty poignant thing at this moment in time, specifically.
I think it's kind of hard not to immediately think that, but at the same time, it was like it's only Disney Plus that's sending their money to Israel. It's none of the rest of Disney. It's only Disney Plus. So you can still go to Disneyland and you're not supporting genocide. You can still like buy Disney merch.
Totally
genocide. But what we're doing right now, while we're watching this, well, actually no, we're doing the opposite because we're sharing it to you for free. So boom.
Savior knew this and dreamed we could change, find harmony, a future where human and mutant could relinquish the past and
Words, while kind, do nothing to heal.
chain our power.
Humanity must protect itself.
Protection, that is extermination. I have only ever acted to avenge crimes against my people.
It's a good twist. I mean, I like Magneto as a character, and it's a good twist to make him the leader of the X-Men in this season. He might have a heel turn at some point. I haven't finished the full season. He might go back to being evil, but like the first at least half of this series, he's like taking Professor X's call to be like a better person, be like a leader and all these things. He seems to be taking it pretty seriously. And I know we're talking about a cartoon here, But I thought it was a pretty good twist for him.
As you act to avenge those against yours today,
If that were the case, are we truly to believe then that in the face of what you consider to be extermination, you would walk Charles Xavier's path?
Not the worst thing that's don't go Magneto's way, don't you think?
They've broken through the barrier.
They've broken through the barrier. This is what I was waiting for. Over the police radios in the Capitol building, excuse me, I mean the UN, you hear, they've broken through the barriers. And now all the cops are rushing into the room. The UN cops, I guess, which just look like NYPD,
Cops.
like movie cops.
Can't hold them back. Deploy smoke! Deploy smoke!
protesters are breaching the perimeter.
They must want Magneto.
And the judges, ma'am.
What in the blazes did we do?
You gave a monster a trial. Now you are traitors to your kind. Oh, to play by the rules, and still they come for you.
Don't you see it?
Dang.
These anti-mutant UN people, they fucked around and found out. They got their faces eaten by the leopard face eating party. Tony.
Yep. Don't you see what you did? You played yourself. You thought you were immune to your freaks, but they're full of hate.
Yeah, the UN are like the LGB people who are trying to side with the right wing over their shared hatred of trans people or whatever, and then are just obviously going to be thrown under the bus immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Storm, watch Magneto and the judges. The rest of us will back up the guards in the lobby.
But the X-Men, they don't even care. The X-Men are willing to defend them. The X-Men are the good cops.
Yeah.
Our goal is de-escalation.
Super heavy-handed.
That's how you know they're good cops. It's because their goal is de-escalation.
Yep.
Protesters are
Jean,
demanding
gotta get
heads
into
of
the city.
Magneto and
Crowd's
the
lost
UN
their
leaders.
blasted mind.
Logan, he's here.
Apocalypse.
Baby!
Oh, crap. Get out the way!
Look at this guy. This guy right over here, that's a Hitler haircut.
Yep.
Right here. The high and tight. Yep. And then this guy's a skinhead and he's wearing black gloves. So like I think this guy right here in the red shirt with the black gloves and then this guy with the high and tight, these are like the real agitators. These are like the people that have like zip ties in their back pocket and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get like this woman here who's like a soccer mom from Southern California. He killed that cop. Did everybody see that when he pushed that cop over?
Yeah.
The skinhead with glasses? Dude, I was losing my mind when I saw this. I was like, how come nobody told me that the X-Men fought January 6th rioters on the 97 reboot?
It's amazing.
Yeah, and we just saw a like bick-headed white supremacist wearing lokes inside shove a cop to the ground who's probably dead.
Yeah, we got a red hat in the crowd.
Oh yeah, there is a red hat.
Yep.
Oh.
Rogue, secure the perimeter outside.
This way to the traitors!
This way to the traitors. Direct reference to Mike Pence. Those guys are running to hang Mike Pence for being a traitor.
Huh? Yep.
I am unable to ascertain the nature of the weapon on his back, but his armor is constructed from an energy-resistant titanium lace.
Okay, so this part is embarrassing because, well, it's not embarrassing for humans. It's embarrassing for mutants because the Executioner, who again is just a human, wipes the floor with all of the X-Men right here. So I wouldn't normally show this like anti-mutant propaganda, but the stuff that he's saying while he's kicking all of their asses is pretty freaking epic. So we should watch it anyway.
Alloy.
You got a name?
Executioner. Here to make sure gene freaks like Magneto pay for their crimes.
Gene freaks.
Gene freaks. I love
like
that.
That's a good slur for mutants.
Mutants.
I love the idea. So now these guys they're wearing cutoff vests and fucking berets. So I think they're just supposed to be the guardian angels.
I love that they have like a logo on their shirts. It's like FOH with like an eagle on it.
Yeah, the Friends of Humanity with the fucking
yeah.
Roman eagle on it. Hint, hint.
They're really going for it. I love it.
I love the idea that you're just like a thug. You're just like a street level thug, and you're like, yeah, sure, I'll go run into Gambit's glowing bow staff.
Yep.
That sounds good to me. Yeah, Gambit just exploded all of them with a card.
Round 2, absorb this.
So that's Bishop, I think, and Bishop can absorb energy, but he did the Executioner did a backflip over him and hooked a anti-mutant ability collar around his neck to turn off his powers, and then shot him in the back, and he flew forward. He also had just shot both Gambit and Beast, so like 3 X-Men already down for the count in a span of like 3 seconds. Really, I don't know. I'm kind of on Team Human now.
I mean, they're kicking ass.
Hurt my friends? Well, now you answer to me.
So that's Cyclops, and I think Cyclops is supposed to be the officer who killed Ashley Babbitt. So he's going to start doing plasma blasts at the Executioner.
Answers to no one.
Oh yeah, he's like, you hurt my friends, you answer to me, and the Executioner is like, humanity answers to no one. Just like America, baby.
That's right.
Hurt my friends? Well, now you answer to me.
Humanity answers to no one.
What?
He just threw a staff and blinded Cyclops. Like, this is embarrassing.
Yeah, like it's not the first time someone's thrown something at Cyclops' glasses things. Like, come on, dude. You gotta be better than that.
Know what I hate about your kind? You act like you got it so bad. Normal people have it hard too. Harder. We just have the dignity not to whine about it. You see? It's the whining. I hate your whining just as much as I hate you.
Pretty good little speech, you know. If you gotta have a racist in your show, like that's a compelling like racist speech, you know. I think we might be winding down on the Capitol Hill riot.
But they're losing the line.
Rogue, fly Cyclops to Jean immediately. Magneto and I will protect the judges.
Be careful, Storm. It's still Magneto.
Magneto, you...
I think this is about it. They let Magneto free, and he wipes the floor with everybody, I believe.
Well, now who does she... Mutant births. You people.
Oh yeah,
lose
this
control of
okay.
your
island.
This is
amazing.
the last one I wanted to show.
Heed my commands and you shall survive.
We're following Wolverine and Jean Grey, who is pregnant and like giving birth to the hospital.
What do you mean, don't do mutant births? You people can lose control of your powers. And if she needs a C-section, I'll show you a C-section, bum.
That's all I wanted.
That's so good.
Beautiful.
That's so good.
Beautiful.
Now, is this the one where like her and Cyclops and Wolverine are in a throuple? Whose baby is this?
I don't want to spoil anything. The baby's weird. Okay? I don't want to spoil anything, but I will tease that the baby's weird.
The baby's Jesus.
I love that line. I'll show you a C-section, but when I'm through with you, bub, you're gonna need 12 husband stitches. You know?
Yeah. I love that. 12 husband stitches.
So everybody watch genuinely good. If you're curious at all, watch at least to the 5th episode. Watch all of the 5th episode. Pretty cool stuff. At one point, like Magneto uses an entire subway train as a whip, as like a chain whip. Pretty cool.
Tight. I want to see it. It's like checking off like all like the nostalgic boxes for me, you know, in a good way. And I was a big fan of that series when it came out.
Yeah, speaking of racism, speaking of slurs, we briefly talked about, well, not briefly, we talked about on this week's episode how the right wing is currently reacting to Kamala Harris being the presumptive Democratic nominee and all their tactics, which you will hear if you listen to that episode, tactics that include pretending to come on photographs of Kamala Harris, generating AI images of a sexy, naked Kamala Harris, pretending to be Epstein so you can talk about what you imagine children have done with Kamala Harris. Things like, you know, interesting tactics like that. I saw another, what I think is going to be a very crucial tactic for the right wing in this election, which is coming up with a new slur for Kamala Harris voters.
Awesome.
This is one of my favorite accounts on X. This is Reddit Lies. This is a guy who gets really mad at Reddit and like calls them like racist against Christians and stuff like that.
I mean, true.
And he's got the account is crazy now. The account has 369,000 followers. I think I followed this account back when it was like a couple thousand followers, you know, not to brag or anything, but I think Elon Musk follows Reddit Lies even.
Awesome. Well, I mean, yeah, we need him tapped in on that. We need him not to be falling for the Reddit lies. We need him to be aware.
It's funny to do an account that's all about how Reddit tricked you.
You fell for it?
It's, well, just like to do an account about how, I don't know, how mad Reddit made you. Like, I think like being on Reddit, it's got its own stigma, but if you're like getting upset about Reddit even more than like the people you're covering, that's an L. Like you can't make an account like that. I don't think it doesn't work for me.
But luckily there's like a bunch of other people who are just as mad at Reddit for lying to them.
But like they're mad at Reddit for weird reasons. Like they're mad at Reddit for like that like liberals or that Democrats are on it or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm fascinated by this guy's post because it'll be like somebody will post a meme that's like Trump is a rapist or like Trump has a history of being really weird around women, and he'll screenshot that and then he'll caption it Reddit moment.
It's like, oh, because they're that's what they're posting. Like, that's where Reddit goes. Like, you can only post that on Reddit because it's a lie.
Caring about how Donald Trump owned teenage beauty pageants and would go into the dressing room to harass the girls. Caring about that is super Reddit coded.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, well, he exposed himself to your Funko Pops, I guess you're going to say next, you know? But yeah, they've shared like the huge Zoom call that Kamala Harris had, which is white women answer the call for Kamala Harris, which we talked about on this week's episode that'll be out on Monday. But, you know, it is pretty funny to be like white women for Harris. Like that is kind of like doing the shackles in public kind of like we're so sorry kind of a thing. But apparently, you know, a lot of white women out there for Kamala Harris. And Reddit Lies says we need a slur for quote white women in HR who still work from home in 2024. And you had me, you know, white women don't really care about that in HR. Yeah, sure. Let's come up with a slur for people. It doesn't, I guess, necessarily have to be just women, but people in HR. I mean, the slur is like rat, right? That's the slur for HR.
Absolutely.
Is rat or stooge or whatever, like company man or company woman. But then it's white women, and the real problem with these women are that they're working from home in 2024. Actually, I would prefer it if the HR was nowhere on site. I would actually like it if for the HR to talk to me, they would have to like call me on my phone.
Yeah.
You know, or they would have to like send me an email.
Also, it's like, so they inserted that part so hard because I'm happy they're not taking their call for Kamala Harris while at work. I'm sure these women are all at home. Like, they probably all do go to offices too. They just also have the ability to Zoom from home.
No, they have a second screen and they're cheating their employer. Do you think their employer would be happy, Tony, if he knew that he was paying these broads to campaign on work time, his time, Tony?
Yep,
Do you
that's
think
not
he'd
even
be cool
ethical.
with that?
I hope not. I hope he wouldn't be cool with that.
It's
not
illegal.
my guy.
It's illegal as far as I know. We need a slur. I love it that, like, okay, so there's a young, you know, it sucks. Like the Biden campaign, the Democrats pulled the rug out from under us. They were having to run this fucking zombie that just embarrassed everybody who had to watch or listen to him. They yanked him out and put in a younger, let's just say more normal than, I guess, Joe Biden woman. I think we should react to this by coming up with a new slur.
That's the only way.
What else are we gonna? I mean, it's right there. Beautiful political instincts on these people, and so there already are, like, people. You know, people say, oh, there already are slurs for women. You know, what are they, Tony?
There's a bunch. There's too many to pick one for me to add to the list.
Well, just name one.
Oh, my favorite one from the last, I think Skank is a good one. I'm happy that Skank's coming back.
Skank. What are some other of your favorite slurs for women, Tony?
Hussy.
Yeah, Jake says dame. That's a good one.
Trollop.
Mall.
Trollop. Mall.
Yeah.
Like, just like mall, like the place.
No, MOLL.
Oh, I don't know mall. It's
like doll. I don't know. I don't know what it's from, but it's like your side piece or your whatever, your girlfriend.
My mall. Oh, I don't like it. No.
Like a gangster. Like a gangster would have a mall. You know, like a mafioso. Floozy, broad. These are all just. I mean, you could go with any of these. Thank you so much for helping me. Skirt.
Ooh, skirt. That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah.
I like kid. I like calling a woman a kid. Here's looking at you, child. So yeah, like this one, awful, AWFL, affluent, white, female, liberal. There are plenty of slurs for women. So you're like, why do you need another one? And that just, again, sounds to me like you don't want to win. You sound like Hillary not going to Wisconsin. We already have enough slurs in the Rust Belt. We don't need any more. Yeah.
Also, what's the point of speaking such a beautiful language if we're not going to use it to its fullest potential?
Yeah, absolutely. But I did want to go through some of these responses. You know, we're trying to come up with the new slur for women to help us win against Kamala Harris.
Finally.
I loved this response from Nate, who is verified, who says, white women swear up and down that they want to be boss babe career women, but given an inkling of a chance to work from home, they pounce on it and refuse to go back to the office. May as well work from home and be a mother and housewife in that case.
What a fucking loser. Like, your boss is always in the office. Like, your boss is not good at being a boss.
I like this.
Let him go home.
Yeah, sure.
Also, yeah, if you want to pay them to be mother and housewife, go for it.
I did notice a slight difference between being employed and getting money versus not. There's maybe not a 1-to-1 comparison there. I also love the idea that, like, having an office email job, that's just like raising a family and managing an entire household. Like, no, I'm sorry, one is busy work and it's not being a mother. And that's not the one that's a fake job.
And it's also like the women you're talking about are probably, a lot of them are doing both anyways. Like, yeah, they would love to be able to just go do that. You, like, fucking dummy.
It's so funny. We're gonna win the presidency by making fun of people who get to work, by making fun of workers who have, like, organized successfully enough to be able to work from home, those are people that I wouldn't fuck with. Anybody who's still working from home in 2024 is probably smarter than you. They're smarter than me. I still have to fucking show up at the building to start my day. All right. I'm not going to I know when I've been beat. I know when I see my social betters, and they're the people who have tricked their bosses into letting them work from home. Not the people I'd want to pick a fight with.
I want a job. I want a remote job with benefits so bad. Like, that's all I want.
Reddit lies. You have a Twitter account for your fucking job, bro. Are you renting out a WeWork station for that shit? I hope so. Oh,
I hope you are.
Oh God, I hope you're making yourself miserable to prove a point and like have a principle or something. Like your Peter Thiel check is tied to you having a separate mailing address. You know?
Yeah. Office space is the dream, though. You know.
There was a couple other. So I liked this. Randolph says, just remember, HR is not your friend. They aren't there for you, the employee. Yes, correct. Despite what they'll tell you, they are 100% there for the company. Ask anyone who's ever dealt with any sort of dispute, layoff, firing, etc. This I feel like is what MAGA communism is trying to hinge on. They're like, well, let's see. Most American men hate women. So if we point to the fact that women have been more successful in the workplace, women are rising through the ranks and representing the company, maybe we can create class consciousness out of sexism. And that's what we see here. Randolph.Harrison.crypto definitely cares about workers, definitely cares about workers' rights, and definitely on principle will never side with the company in this particular instance because he saw a woman on screen.
Also, like, the only person that said that these were HR people was Reddit lies. That's where we're getting the HR thing from.
Yeah,
this is not a Skype call full of HR people. It's like that. That's so funny. I love that.
I did like this attempt at a slur from a sensible person who says the slur should be House Kamala.
Get it? Do you get it? Do you get it?
Like I said on Twitter, I don't know if that counts as a new slur. That seems like kind of an update to the old one.
Yeah. And they're not saying housewife, by the way. That's not what they're saying. They're not saying housewife. They're saying these are the wives who get to live inside and learn how to read and write. That's what they're saying.
Like, not only are you answering the call for a Trump supporter to let's come up with a new slur for women so we can really win this thing. Not only are you doing that, you're also saying that Kamala herself is the old slur.
Yep, totally.
Kamala herself is the N-word.
Yep.
And let's riff on that, baby. That's our jumping off point.
Oh man. Well, yeah, that's insane.
Oh, Robin says laptop lemmings. That's
sure, okay.
Home biddies? I don't know what that means.
Instead of bodies, like biddies.
But what is? Oh, because biddy is butt or something.
I don't know. It's not good.
None of these are that good. Yeah, Faith says working from home is kind of fun, bro.
Yeah.
And then I liked this argument. Don't Bother Me says it's fun in that little work is involved and accountability is out the window. And Faith says kind of like normal desk jobs. And then Don't Bother Me replies, tell that to the ever-present snooping boss.
Well, that's the cool thing is they're not there when you're at home. Like, maybe you should see if you can work from home.
He switched from being the boss in this tweet that accountability is out the window to being like the cool worker who hates the boss. Yeah, but see it's like you're like more of a man if you work in the office because then you got to deal with the snooping boss like a man.
I guess so.
Face to face.
I guess so. Yeah, like pull up your pants and deal with your boss, you know?
Great stuff. Okay, that's it for this thread. Did you have anything you wanted to share this week, Tony? You said you had some videos or something.
Oh yeah, I had a fun video that I watched. It's a really nonsense video, but it's fun. Have you seen the video of the BBC News error?
Which error? I mean, the whole thing is filled with errors. If you
That
ask
like
me.
if that didn't do it, then you haven't seen it yet. Hold on. All right. It's just fun. It's real stupid.
I love how Tony's doing the boomer zoom thing of like putting his face is like an inch away from the camera as he searches his computer for what he's looking for.
I have a small screen right now. All right. It's fun. Hold on, I'm gonna get to. I think here's where I want to be. This happened live.
Are you rewinding it or is
Nope. This just happened. Like.
Okay, pause it. So if you're listening to this, if you're not watching, what we're seeing is like the animation for breaking news happening over and over, and it cuts to the anchor who's not been told that he's supposed to come on at this moment. So he's just like twiddling his thumbs at the anchor desk, like looking down at his notes while the breaking news animation and sound effect happens over and over in front of him. And also we're cutting to like B-roll footage of a sunset and also pallbearers and a coffin being carried by.
Yeah, and the funny thing is like the longer it goes, the more just kind of like random the montages get, and he's clearly waiting for them to say, "We fixed it, we're good now." And now he's just sitting there waiting.
This is good shit. I wonder what happened.
I don't know. It's amazing though. It's not that old.
Yeah, Weave TCG says this is just check it out with Dr. Steve Brule. Yeah, it's like if the episode never actually started. And it just kept cutting to Steve Brule, who's not ready to go live.
I love the camera. The camera people are working like, and if you look in the back, they're kind of scrambling, trying to figure out what's happening a little bit. Just dead air.
Can't somebody just like walk up to him and say, "Sir, you're on"? They're like doing a slow zoom in on him as he's just looking down at the desk.
Well, I think he knows he can't start because it's just going to happen again.
I think they want him to start. What is it? Is it like are the camera zooms like automated? Are they?
I don't know. I don't know.
I think somebody's actually moving the camera around.
Yeah, that's like someone's actually working. That's like they're waiting for. It's funny because like you can tell he's not looking at the camera. I'm guessing he has an earpiece in. He's waiting to be told something.
Yeah, I think somebody just should walk up there and say, "Sir, you're on the news."
But it's like what he's going to say because it's of course we're not done yet.
He's checking his cell phone.
He's like a mouse there.
Oh, there's like a Pac-Man type screen on the desk. I think maybe that he's looking at. Wow, this is great.
I wish he was boycotting.
How much longer does this go?
Just it's a minute, but there's a couple more breaks in it that are funny. I love that he has a pen. He starts twiddling his pen, just nothing.
Was this was probably because of DEI, I would imagine.
Yeah, I wish this was quiet quitting. I wish this was like a strike. I want to know what he's writing right now. He's writing something. I want to know what he's writing.
Kill self. 7 p.m.
This fucking sucks. This is the worst shit. Just doodling.
Dan D says, check out the Jeremy Hunt flub from 2008 to 2009.
The little look around the room. Is this happening? What's happening?
Just spiked the camera. All right, I'm getting bored of this. Is this all that's going to happen?
Yep. Yeah, I think
That
this
was-
is it
that
one
was
more
good.
time. Yeah. Yeah, that's Go ahead.
Yeah, look up the Jeremy Hunt flub. Let's see that flub. From, I don't know, 2008 to 2009. Maybe don't type in that part. Just type in Jeremy Hunt BBC flub.
Is it? I don't know. Let's see. Oh, this is only 13 seconds long. Maybe this is it.
Slips up over Jeremy Hunt's name. Yeah.
Express as elderly people would not be forced to sell their homes to pay for social care under plans being drawn up by the government. The paper says the Health Secretary Jeremy Hunt is understood to favour
They
a cap
can't
on
stop
social
saying
care.
that word. They
Nice.
love that word too much.
Nice.
Type into YouTube DD Mega Doodoo. That's the best flub.
Is it DE?
I think so. DEE Mega Doodoo.
There you go. DD Mega Doodoo. There you go. Yep. Oh, this is a good one. Yeah.
Final goodbyes to this fallen Louisville police officer, DD Mega Doodoo. I'm sorry, Mega Doodoo.
Didn't need that.
Eyes to this fallen Louisville police officer, DD Mega Doodoo. I'm sorry.
Definitely. I
Mega Doodoo.
like how she starts fucking it up and seemingly catches herself and then makes it worse. It goes
worse.
way off the rails to make a doo-doo. The what was the actual name for people who aren't watching? Scrub back.
Yeah.
It's Deidre Mangadote. It's nothing
Deidre
like
Megando. Yeah.
Mangadote. It's nothing at all like Mega Doodoo, but I mean, you get a whiff
I
of these bits.
bet you she lost her job over this. You know,
I hope
it's
not.
it's a dead cop.
And she
I hope
smiles.
not, too.
She smiles during it, like
Which is
a
sick.
demon.
Which is
Yeah.
just twisted stuff.
Should I present the Olympics stuff that we have?
Oh sure, yeah, totally. Yeah, I
This
forgot
is
we
a
were going to talk
segment.
about that.
Yeah, I actually need to use the restroom real quick. So can you pull up another funny video or something? while I use the
Sure.
restroom? Make sure it's funny though.
So this in the last thing is a part of I'm going to start calling it a segment. It's going to be a weekly segment I'm going to call it Shorty Put Me On, and it's basically going to be because you know how like cis men, we don't have our own personalities. We just like steal things from like our partners or the femmes around us. Well, I'll just show you guys videos that cool women I hang out with show me, and then I'll claim it as my own. But we'll call it Shorty made me do it. This is great. Someone showed me this last night. I'd never seen it before. Have we seen the Italian American movie? It's Martin Scorsese interviewing his mom and his dad,
Now I'm putting my
Not yet.
and it's amazing.
We should play it, don't you think?
They're interviewing his mom and dad about the sauce.
Okay, was that the light? Where are you sitting down
but
there?
in
Why?
beautiful Italian
Why
American
down
way,
there?
it goes off the rails.
Why are you so far from me?
Okay. All right,
Get
so
closer. No, you come here.
It's mom and dad on a plastic covered couch,
That's it. That's more like it.
already bickering.
Lovey-dovey, sort of. You know, they say as you get older, your love grows stronger. So for some reason, it is getting a little stronger, you know. Right, Daddy? He's bashful.
Yeah, I know.
She's so cute.
Oh, I wanted to start. You were going to tell us about the sauce. You were going to show us how to do the sauce.
Well, what should I say?
Listen to how sassy she
You're
is.
going to get up and show it to us, but I wanted to know who, how did you learn it?
Well, what are you asking?
About the sauce. How did you learn how to make sauce?
Well, I'm supposed to be talking to you?
You could talk to me, you could talk to them. It doesn't matter. I'll be over here.
Should I mention your name?
No, doesn't matter.
She's
Yeah,
perfect.
mention my name, yeah.
You want? What should I say? You want me to know? You want me to tell you how I learned how to make
Yes.
sauce?
How did you learn
Well,
how to make sauce?
why don't you ask me the question? Don't you hear that then? No. I mean, if you would ask me a question, I would answer.
I'm gonna say it now.
Right?
I want to know how you learned how to make sauce. Who taught you? Who taught it to you? How long? I mean, how many years you've been doing it? And I want to see you do it.
Well, when you first get married, you're really not much of a cook. I watched my mother make sauce. I watched my mother-in-law. I got a lot from my mother-in-law, a lot from...
Watch him shit on his mother-in-law now.
More than my mother, from my mother to my mother.
See, there he goes, putting his mother in again.
All right, let's go inside and see.
So now, if you want me to
come on.
show you, I'll come and show you how I make the sauce.
I just want you to see the title screen because it's so perfect.
How am I doing so far?
Terrific.
All right, now, to begin with...
When you have a moment, definitely go watch Italian American because she does, as you can probably guess, you don't learn how to make sauce at all, but you learn all about her like cousins and her dad and her husband's cousins and growing up in the country and all. It's so funny. They don't focus on anything. They just go everywhere, and it's so funny. It's like 45 minutes, and it's a super fun watch. Yeah, I know it's quirky. Like I told you, I told him this is my first submission to Shorty Put Me On, so I can't take full credit for it, but I am taking full credit for it by looking like the cool person who's showing you Italian American.
Wow, I would definitely go on a Hinge date with this guy.
I mean, you joke.
Say it about Tony.
You joke, but I did take a strategically placed a strategic selfie in front of a movie that I'd never watched, but I know that a bunch of weirdos like, and that's the picture that got me a lot of feedback.
Oh, Deadpool and Wolverine.
It's Deadpool and Wolverine. They were like, "Oh, I love Deadpool and Wolverine."
It's kind of a sleeper hit here, but real heads will know. Yeah, I guess to round out this episode of Death Chat, thank you for everybody for joining us here. Let's talk about the frickin' Olympics. Did you see? Tony doesn't like the Olympics. I don't know why. I think he doesn't appreciate excellence. He doesn't like the young men and women who have trained their whole lives to be, I don't know, incredible athletes.
That's pretty much it.
That's his right. I don't care about the Olympics at all, except for they got Gojira to do the opening ceremony next to a beheaded Marie Antoinette. They got me, Tony. I'm sorry. They got me. Like, for one thing, I didn't know Gojira was this big. I didn't know Gojira had like millions of listeners, apparently.
Are they French then?
They are French. I knew them as like a French death metal band. They're not quite death metal, but when I was 15, I was like, oh, I guess this is death metal. They're more like, progressive post metal, groove metal type shit. But they're good. And I was like, that Gojira played? Is there like a DJ called Gojira that played the opening ceremony? No, it's the actual extreme metal band Gojira. And they were, playing next to a beheaded Marie Antoinette, who I think was an opera singer, singing along. And it does look a little like, Metallica at the Super Bowl or whatever. But I mean, this is a better song than like Metallica has written in the last 20 years. So
It looked sick as fuck. And I just want to clarify the reason why I don't like the Olympics is because they allow skateboarding Olympics, but only skateboarders who don't smoke weed are in the Olympics, and it's because I do love excellence, and they are denying us of that excellence.
It's bullshit.
We're not getting the best skaters. We're not getting the elite athletes that we're getting in the other sports. So that's my real beef with it. We have to watch fucking Andy Anderson do the worst tricks ever instead.
Edward says Magma is a fantastic album for anyone who needs to check out Gojira. I haven't heard that album. I had only heard the one with the whale and in space on the cover from 2005. It's called like From Mars to Venus or something like that. And I re-listened to it today. I went back and at least listened to the opening track. Really good. Really like atmospheric, melodic post-metal with some cool like Meshuggah type, I guess YouTube describes it as tremolo picking metal. I would say, yeah, the da-da-da-da, like it's kind of like before Gent. Back when like Gent wasn't a meme and just normal metal bands incorporated the like tremolo picking and chugging into like broader, what do you call it? Like broader songs and broader whatever musical pieces. It was just called metal, and it was a better time. It was a simpler time
back in my
folks.
day.
And then I saw people getting really mad and scared of the Olympics, and so I thought that they were getting scared of Gojira, and that made me really happy. But then I realized they were getting scared of drag queens instead.
Yep.
Because there were also drag queens at the Olympics, I guess. Doing like that, what's that thing they do in Laguna Beach where... Say it again.
Pageant of the Masters.
They're doing like Pageant of the Masters shit where people pose as a painting in real life, and it's drag queens. I think maybe there's only like... I don't know if all of these people are drag queens, because like the guy on the right has a do-rag and a suit on. Some of these just seem like fashionable people. I don't. They seem like French people. I think maybe that's the mistake we're making here, is we're just assuming
they're not drag. They're just French.
That they're drag queens because they're French. But they're reenacting The Last Supper, the painting of The Last Supper. But some of them are women, and then some of them might not be women. And I'm mad both that women are in this and that not women are in this.
Yeah, that's infuriating.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is not at all like how The Last Supper was, the real thing that happened for real, with real people, that was documented, and now it's being blasphemized.
And this is a Facebook post from Common Sense Extremists. The Fire Rises, which is a really good name for your Facebook page.
It's so funny how it's a big like nothing burger. Like look, I'm extreme about my common sense. Well, I mean, then how extreme can you possibly get?
I love that it's like it is like a joke on, wow, I'm just a normal. I would have been just a normal guy 20 years ago, but now in today's, ethnically and sexually diverse world, I'm considered an extremist just for having common sense.
Yeah,
it's like, wait. They call me racist just because I have common sense. It's like, are you sure it's not your giant White Lives Matter shirt that you're wearing?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what people are referring to.
Common sense would tell you that white lives matter.
But I love, trying to do like a snarky, like, I guess we're too extreme for having common sense, but then the subtitle of your group is The Fire Rises.
Yeah, chill, bro.
Kind of gives it away. When you start talking like Bane...
Yeah,
I think people
you're
maybe
not chilling.
Yeah, you're not doing the same joke anymore. Like The Fire Rises. God damn it, my fucking throat. I need to do a bit of that Hawk Tua,
Yeah. Tua.
Common Sense Extremist says the Olympics use drag queens to mock us. And like, I used to be a common sense guy, but then I saw a drag queen and now I'm a school shooter. I think that's kind of what's going on this page, because I don't really think common sense extremists really think they have common sense and aren't extreme. I think like they know they're extreme and they're trying to make other people extreme too.
Yeah, I think they know that common sense is not so common. So whatever they possess that no one else possesses is extreme.
Right, you're on the fringes of society already
Yeah.
if you're a red-blooded American. Christopher Purvis comments, "We're at war, and most people don't even know it."
I mean, listeners of this show know it. Anybody who's here is very aware of the fact that we are at war.
We've been reporting on the war for 7 fucking years, Christopher. It's not our fault you haven't been telling people to listen to Minion Death Cult. That's your job. We're trying. We're trying over here.
Come on.
We're taking you off the street team, Christopher. If this is the kind of work you've been doing for us. I love we're at war and most people don't even know it. Christopher, I think that's just called being insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Aren't you guys aware of the war that we're in? How are you not aware of it? We're in battles everywhere. They're all around us. Who, Christopher? Who are we at war with?
I have a 10-foot tall friend named Henry who only speaks in backwards limericks, and most people don't even know it.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you're imagining things. That's why most people don't know we're at war. I mean, if it's like, is it really a war if you don't know it? If you're still getting your Instacart deliveries, are we really at war?
Listen, you're just mad because the common sense doesn't talk to you.
The voices in my head are logical, and they said you're fallacious.
Yeah.
Eric Testerman says we will win in the end. Alyssa Noel says God won't be mocked. Every period, knee period, will period, bow.
I love that they're like, listen, end times are coming. God is going to smite them all any moment now. Just any moment. It's going to happen. I promise.
Lindsay says feminist queer scholar Sarah Ahmed writes about how common sense is indeed sexist/racist because it is used to exclude others' voices by centering one's own ID. Yeah, common sense. That's not a scientific term. If you say common sense, I'm going to be like, oh, you mean whatever visceral, guttural feeling you felt in your bones.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They got upset on Twitter too about this. Elon Musk says this was extremely disrespectful to Christians. And then he also tweeted something like, Christians have got to stand up and do what's right, like do violence against trans people, or whatever he's hinting at. And it's very funny to be like trying to use Christians to perpetuate your culture war, like trying to enlist Christians as the foot soldiers of whatever like fascist or ethnocentric society you're trying to build, while wearing the Baphomet demon leather armor that all the Christians got mad at you for wearing in your profile pic. Like, I'm sorry, but Elon Musk is mocking you and you don't even know it.
You have no idea. Yeah. And you're paying him.
Natalie replies, 100, Elon. This was extremely disrespectful to Christians. No cap, bruh.
No cap.
I love 100.
Dead ass.
Dead ass.
This was disrespectful.
This was Christophobic, bro. I like the 100 emoji. ... I love your emoji followed by ellipsis, being like, I know I put an emoji here, but I might have more to say.
Yeah.
Believe it or not,
it might be another emoji. It might be another emoji. Who knows? Might have been a fire emoji, a flame emoji.
My mind is still just spinning at 100 miles an hour. So just keep up with me. I got more where that's from. 100 ... But not sure if Western civilization even remembers Christian values anymore. They don't. They don't remember any of the Christian values. They don't remember, fortunately, the bad Christian values. But they also don't remember the good Christian values. So it's kind of a, win-lose situation. Love Dog comments, thought we were done with the catering. Thought we were done with catering to this. Wake up, people. We here for the Olympics and not a pride show.
It's so amazing, like being a Western Christian, I'm assuming white, and being like, I can't believe they're catering things to not me. It's like, what world are you living in where things aren't catered to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I also
you had to see some performance that was theatrical that involved costumes.
I love being like, this is the Olympics. Why am I seeing another culture that I
yeah, ew. No, thank you.
But I love, we're here for the Olympics. Yeah, Love Dog. Maybe if you sell your Hesher dog NFT, you could maybe buy some stock in the Olympics and really start, making some decisions there.
Yeah, dude, make money moves.
Woof! This is shitty. This is shitty even for NFT It doesn't even look like an illustration. It looks like a stick and poke tattoo, but not in a cool way that somebody filled in with MS Paint.
And it says like Doge. It's like DOGE
on the hat. Under the thrash
brutal
hat brim. Yeah.
Yeah. Where it should say suicidal, it says Doge.
Do you think this guy has even ever listened to Rancid? Probably not.
Probably only listens to Rancid.
Do you think this guy has even heard of the Casualties? I doubt it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of like real punk bands,
This guy only knows American Idiot era Green Day.
No, he probably knows like some of the. He probably knows like that "Woo Woo" song by Tim Armstrong and Travis Barker. Yeah, he probably knows trans. He's probably not old enough for the Transplants.
He only likes like Rancid side projects. He's like, I like the Transplants.
Operation Ivy.
I like Operation Ivy. Well, Operation Ivy does rule, but I can't think of any other ones. Were they involved in Boxcar Racer, or am I just doing? I think one of them was in Boxcar Racer, right?
No, that was Mark Hoppus and Travis. I think just what's his name? Tom wasn't in Boxcar.
I'm just convoluting Transplants and Boxcar Racer.
Wasn't Tim Armstrong in the Kardashians?
I think so.
Yeah, I think he was. Dana Justice, America first. American flag emoji says, if I were in charge of the U.S. delegation, again, one of my favorite genres of tweet. If I were somebody important, if I were a real person, I love this so much. This is just so depressing. Just like the most, just fantasizing about having the smallest piece of power to like punish your enemies. If I were in charge of the U.S. delegation, the athletes would be on the next plane headed for home. And I do think that's how you win people over to your Christian cause. You say, we got so scared of the colorful painting reenactment that they did that we're going to take whatever 100 athletes right back home. We're going to turn this plane around, not let them compete. And I think everybody's going to stand behind me and probably convert to Christianity because of it.
Yeah, like absolutely, because like the Olympics are about like a cultural exchange. It's not about making like millions and millions of dollars or anything like that. So we could just turn that plane around.
Peruvian baby is verified. Oh no! What? This fucking someone called child services. Holy shit!
Right. Oh, this is the 7th one. This is Peruvian baby 7.
Oh no! What happened to the other 6? Where are they?
Oh no, it's okay. They became toddlers and then small children, so we had to make different accounts for them. This is the 7th baby though.
Okay, Peruvian baby says, quote, they will wage war against the Lamb, but the Lamb will triumph over them because he is Lord of Lords and King of Kings. Stay strong, flexing emoji, ... Jesus is king.
Honestly, like if this is your guy, like couldn't your guy have just stopped it from happening? Couldn't your guy have just been like, couldn't they have all gotten like COVID or something the day before the performance?
You think that God is going to stop the Olympics so that some American Christians don't get their feelings hurt when he allowed his own son to be crucified.
Oh, valid. That's so valid.
Like the whole thing about God is about making you suffer, is about suffering. And then like, maybe if he's feeling cool, he'll let you into heaven afterwards or whatever.
Yeah.
That is, I love that. Like when people own up that part of Christianity, because it is like kind of diametrically opposed to like, I wouldn't say maybe the predominant strain of Christianity, but like a big strain of Christianity in America is about like superiority and hierarchy and xenophobia and those and not just that, but also like being a warrior, being an offensive, being on like the offense for Christ, for Christianity, being an activist. And so it is interesting to see somebody do the whole, oh no, Christians are just like little lambs sent up for the slaughter, but then we go to heaven.
Yeah. It's funny, like you can't do that on Robitussin said, like that's straight up not from the Bible. Yeah, this I don't know what this quote is from. This is like I don't think this is a biblical quote.
Maybe.
I think it just sounds biblical.
I just love like stay strong, and it's like not only is it like stay strong in the face of TV you didn't like.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny. But it's also like, hey, one day our salvation will come. I know it feels like we've been wandering through the desert for 40 years because I had to see an interracial couple in a Dove commercial on TV, but one day we will find the promised land.
Shouldn't you be like excited when you see like blasphemy on TV because that's like one step closer to you getting straight to heaven? Don't you almost want don't you want to like be like an accelerationist for the end times?
Yeah,
I mean that's what Israel is. That's accelerationist shit.
Right. I think that's why they're getting excited. They're getting excited because maybe they'll get to be the main character. Like maybe something interesting will happen to break up the monotony of living as an imperial subject. Another thing they got really upset about was there was like some robot horse that like looked like it was galloping across the water.
Yeah.
It had like a rider and it was being like whatever somehow.
It looked cool. I saw it because people were saying it looked like Beyonce.
Oh, it looked cool. Yeah, that was the rider of death. That was
fuck.
That was one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, Tony.
Oh no, they told me he was gonna look cool and I knew that too. Damn it.
I don't know how to take that when somebody's reporting on like this is one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse. Are they like scared of that horseman, or are they like, oh well, God is, because I don't know the apocalypse. Are like the four horsemen? Are they like are they employees of God, or are they like part of the devil, or are they their own thing?
They're part of God. They're part of God's troops.
So why are you scared? Yeah, why are you scared of the thing? Like, isn't that good?
Because it's gonna kill your gay son.
My gay son died the moment he tried to show me Charlie XCX.
Yeah, my son died the moment he became Brat. The moment he had a lime green background, he that's when he died.
I said, Jesus Christ, put it back to the fucking black square for Christ's sake. That's better than this shit. Jesus. And then somebody else brought up. Remember when China hosted the Olympics like in 2008 or something like that? And part of the opening ceremony was like a performance of like 1,000 people all drumming in unison. And it scared people so much. It scared like jingoists and anti-China people so much that even like South Park made fun of them.
Mm-hmm.
There's like an episode where Cartman is having nightmares about the opening ceremony of the Chinese Olympics. And yet some of the biggest posters on X are still being scared of it, are still like performatively saying how frightening this old video was. I/O verified, just like a tech conspiracy theory success poster, meme poster, all wrapped into one. Just like doing all of the grifts at once and doing them all poorly. But this is of course Twitter, and so just the like threshold at which you have to perform now is so low that you
Yeah.
can do all that stuff at the same time and be the world's biggest dumbass. I/O says, I remember watching this with a group.
I think he's about something really cool. I don't know why
Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah, you're like frozen or something.
I'm gonna give him to come back. But
okay.
We have been going. There's back. Hold up.
Yeah, I couldn't hear what Tony was saying at all. I don't know if you guys can hear him better. But I/O captioned this video. I remember watching this with a group of apolitical normie women. They said, "This is amazing and beautiful." I said, "This is terrifying."
I can't tell. I can't tell if I'm gone or if he's gone.
Who's doing a better job right now, listeners?
it's
Am
me.
I doing a better job of streaming, or is Tony? Who is wrong? Who's wrong here? Okay, maybe it's me because I don't know if. Oh, it says me. Okay. Alex is pristine. Tony wrong. Okay. Alex vindicated. All right. Sorry. This is Tony's like not recording in his normal space. So we've been troubleshooting this whole time. I'll just finish up since you guys can hear me. I'll finish just my thoughts on this. I love it so much. Just not only announcing that you got scared of a Chinese team building exercise, but you like said that to women. You said that to the women in your life. They were like, "Wow, this is beautiful," and you were like, "This is evil." And I wonder if that's manifested itself in other ways. I wonder if that's had any knock-on results in the rest of your life. Just like performatively being afraid of China or North Korea or whatever while like on a date. That would be a cool way to pick up women. Be like, what I have to bring to the table? Well, I'm not a military-aged male from China. Let's just say that. And then look at who got in on the action. Andrew Tate himself, who replied, this had 120,000 likes. 120,000 people were like, "It's really cool that you told women you were afraid of China." Why do women hate us, by the way? It's not even necessarily because you're misogynist or sexist or whatever. I think it's just because you're fucking embarrassing, bro. Jesus Christ. But Andrew Tate says, women don't understand that everything leads to war. Organization. Systemization? Is that a word? Wouldn't that just mean the same thing as organization? Systemization. Collaboration. These are war tactics. This is so good because it is like extending one of my favorite things on the right wing, which is that it's like globalist to have friends or to have like ties to your community or to have shared bonds or to collaborate with other people. Like they're so anti-communist that like working together itself is an insult to America. And it's like, I think that's wrong. I think that's a really bad politics to have, but I'm glad that they have it. I'm glad that seems to be the right wing's like unifying message is we shouldn't have to do anything for anyone with anyone at all. And in fact, I actually kind of hate everybody. Organization leads to war. Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe we have different definitions of this stuff, but I just love it. The three things you must avoid: organization, systemization, collaboration. It's scary, guys. All right. Well, thanks for joining us. Sorry, Tony had to get out of here, but thanks for your patience. Thanks for joining us, and we'll do it again next week. See you later, everybody. Have a good weekend.